Hey everyone, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear if anyone has been through something like this, because it completely changed my life, and the way I see family. I never imagined I'd become the kind of man who doubted the person he loved most. My name is Daniel, and for years, trust came easily to me. I gave it freely, especially to my wife, Lauren. She had a way about her, warm, dependable, effortlessly likable. The type of woman who could enter a room and instantly make others feel comfortable, like they'd known her forever. We'd been together nearly 4 years, married for just under 2. Our life wasn't exciting, but it was stable. We rented a modest apartment outside Milwaukee, both buried in demanding jobs, often passing each other like strangers during the week. Still, I believed our bond was solid, unshakable, until subtle fractures began to surface. At first, it was easy to ignore. Late evenings she blamed on work. A sudden dedication to fitness, even though she'd never cared much about the gym before. The way her phone never left her hand anymore. I convinced myself I was overthinking. I told myself suspicion destroys relationships faster than honesty ever could. But one night changed everything. I was sitting alone at our dining table, the house quiet, waiting for her to come home. Out of habit, I glanced at our shared location app. It still showed her at the office, even though I knew her workplace had closed nearly 2 hours earlier. When she finally walked through the door, she looked startled to see me awake. "Oh, hey," she said quickly, dropping her bag faster than usual. "You're still up?" "Yeah," I replied, forcing a smile. "Just waiting on you. Late night." She hesitated for a fraction of a second. "Yeah. Last-minute paperwork. You know how it goes." But I did know how it went. Her firm prided itself on strict schedules. She'd bragged about that more than once. Something didn't line up. Later that night, while she showered, I sat in the low light of the kitchen, staring at her phone resting on the counter. The screen lit up briefly with a notification. Just long enough for me to catch a name. Ryan. My stomach tightened. Still, I didn't touch the phone. I wasn't ready to cross that boundary, not yet. Days passed, and the discomfort settled in like a quiet obsession. I noticed everything. A new perfume I didn't recognize. Receipts tucked away. Her photo gallery suddenly locked. Every instinct warned me something was wrong, yet part of me desperately hoped I was mistaken. Then came the night that broke the illusion completely. We were getting ready to go out with her coworkers, one of those rare double-date evenings. She wore a black skirt and a white silk blouse, her hair neatly pulled back, her lips painted a shade I'd never seen on her before. She looked stunning and unfamiliar. As she adjusted her skirt, something white peeked out near the waistband. At first, I thought it was a tag. "Hey, hold on," I said casually, stepping closer. "You've got something there." She froze mid-turn. "What do you mean?" "Let me fix it." I gently pulled at the lining of her skirt. A folded piece of paper slipped to the floor. She went pale. When I bent down to grab it, she reached for it too, but I was faster. My hands trembled as I unfolded the note. It was handwritten. Neatly folded. A man's name at the bottom. "Can't wait to see you again tonight. Same place." No explanation was needed. My chest felt hollow. The room seemed to lose all sound. Lauren stood there, unable to speak, her lips shaking. "Daniel, it's not what you think." I let out a quiet, broken laugh, the kind that slips out when pain hits too fast to process. "Then tell me," I said softly. "What am I supposed to think?" Her eyes flicked toward the door, then back to me, searching for a way out. The silence that followed spoke louder than any confession. I placed the note on the table between us. "You know," I said quietly, "I used to think losing you would be the worst thing imaginable. Turns out, it's realizing I never truly had you." She didn't answer right away. Her hands shook, trapped between guilt and fear. Finally, she whispered, "It's not an affair. It's complicated." "Complicated," I repeated. The favorite word of lies dressed as half-truths. I sat down and gestured for her to continue. "Go ahead. Uncomplicate it." She stared at the note, avoiding my eyes. "Ryan's a coworker." We were supposed to meet about a project. At night. I interrupted. After lying about paperwork, with notes saying you can't wait to see him again. Her face collapsed, tears spilling freely. I know how it looks. I didn't plan for this. She paused, breathing unevenly. I felt invisible. That word hit harder than I expected. Somewhere deep down, I knew there was truth in it. I'd been distant. Routine had replaced effort. But distance doesn't excuse betrayal, it demands honesty. So you felt unseen, I said slowly. And instead of talking to me, you chose someone else. She sank onto the couch, covering her face. It wasn't supposed to mean anything. It always means something, I whispered. The silence stretched. The clock ticked. Rain tapped against the window. Her breathing shook. I stood, grabbed my jacket, and walked toward the door. Daniel, please, she said softly. Don't leave like this. I turned back. Lauren, you already did. You just forgot to take your body with you. Then I walked out. I drove for hours, city lights blurring past. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I let the quiet sit beside me. My phone kept lighting up with her name, but I never answered. Eventually, I parked near the lake, rolled the window down, and breathed in the cold night air. Somewhere between pain and numbness, I realized I wasn't just angry at her. I was disappointed in myself, for ignoring the signs, for believing love could survive without attention. The next morning, I went back. She sat at the kitchen table, eyes swollen, hands folded like a child waiting for judgment. I'll move out, she said quietly. You don't deserve this. I poured coffee, my hands steady now. I don't need apologies, I said. I need the truth. She hesitated. It started innocent. He made me laugh. He listened. One night after a client dinner, we kissed. I ended it right away, but after that, the guilt turned into confusion. I didn't know how to face you. Her honesty came too late. Still, I felt something unexpected, calm. At least now the shadow had a name. I wish you'd told me sooner, I said. We could have tried to fix things. But you chose secrets instead. I left that afternoon with a small bag and the heavy weight of what used to be. A hotel at first. Then a place across town. Weeks passed quietly. Work. Gym. Silence. Repeat. Healing wasn't dramatic. It was slow, awkward, unfamiliar. Sometimes I replayed that night and wondered if I'd ever trust again. Then one evening, grabbing coffee near the train station, a stranger smiled at me. Just a simple, kind smile. It reminded me the world hadn't ended. It had only changed. Months later, a letter arrived. No return address. I recognized the handwriting instantly. Daniel, you were good to me in ways I didn't understand until I lost you. I don't expect forgiveness. I only hope you find someone who sees your worth before it's too late. I folded the letter and placed it in a drawer. Maybe forgiveness isn't something you give someone else. Maybe it's something you give yourself, for believing love would always be enough. That night, watching city lights glow through the window, I realized something simple and powerful. You can't stop people from betraying you, but you can stop betrayal from defining who you become. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel broken.